everyone, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Keisha and today I'm going to be showing you all of the books that I have accumulated over the past couple of months. So today these books are going to be a combination of books that I got for my birthday, as far as books that either came later than my birthday book haul video, books that I got myself, or books that I may have ordered from Pango Books. I also took a trip to Nashville and went to McKay's, so this is going to be that haul as well. These are in no particular order. I literally just have all these books in a box beside me, so I'm just going to start grabbing and we're going to go ahead and get started. The first book that I have is Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. I picked this book up when I went to McKay's, and the reason that I picked this one up is because Lauren from Lauren Love Reads really loves Blake Crouch, and she has raved about this book. And I know that this one is a thriller, so I feel like if I'm going to like any of his books, with them being a little bit more sci-fi, then this might be the one that I will enjoy. So all I really know about this is that there is this man named Jason, and he hears the words, "Are you happy with your life?" before his kidnapper knocks him unconscious. And then he wakes up strapped down, and he's in this life that is not his own. Everything that he remembers before he was knocked out is not true of his life now, and he is trying to figure out if his current life is his real life and the other's the dream life, or if this life is the dream life and the other is his real life. And it's just a book about choices, paths not taken, and how far we'll go to claim the lives we dream of. The next book I have is also inspired by Lauren from Lauren Love Reads, and also Caitlin from Pride and Paperback, and Rachel from Happy Go Lovely Sleeves. So with saying all three of those names, you guys can probably guess which book that is, and that is In the Company of Witches by Auralee Wallace. This is a cozy mystery series. It is the first book in the series that the Cozy Hollow Book Club is actually going to be reading for the month of October. So that's why I picked this one up. I don't know too much about it. I'm fairly new to the cozy mystery genre, but this is just about a group of witches that own an Airbnb, and it just sounds super cute, and I'm really excited to read it for the Cozy Hollow Book Club. Speaking of cozy mysteries, while I was out at McKay's, I did find one that I haven't seen anybody talk about just yet, so I picked it up, and that is Ghost a la Mode, and this is a Ghost of Granny Apple's mystery by Sue Ann Jaffarian. This one I'm really excited about, and I'm gonna go ahead and read the back of the book for you because I know, like I said, I haven't really seen this one around a lot, and it will also be a refresher for me. Rotten to the Core, or The Apple of His Eye. Granny was famous for her award-winning apple pies and notorious for murdering her husband Jacob at their homestead in Julian, California. The only trouble is, Granny was framed, then murdered. For more than 100 years, Granny's spirit has been searching for someone to help her see that justice is served. And she hits pay dirt when she pops in on a seance attended by her great-great-great-granddaughter, modern-day divorced mom, Emma Whitecastle. Together, Emma and Granny Apples solve mysteries of the past, starting with Granny's own unjust murder rap in the final days of the California Gold Rush. Along with a sprinkling of history, the spirited new mystery series features the amateur sleuth team of Emma Whitecastle, and the spirit of her pie-baking great-great-great-grandmother, Granny Apples. The next book that I have is Suburban Hell by Maureen Kilmer. I picked this book up while I was in Nashville, while I was at Parnassus. This was my first visit there, so I wanted to make sure that I got something. I've seen so many people talk about this book. It's about this group of friends who end up concocting this like clubhouse or she shed for a place for them to just kind of hang out, no spouses, no kids allowed, and something happens along the way where one of the friends gets possessed, and this just really kind of reminded me of maybe like my best friend's exorcism, with some humor of things like Finley Donovan as well. So I'm really excited to get to this one hopefully soon. Next up, I do have a couple of gifts. So this first one, if I could find the card, I was gonna read it. This is a late birthday present from Kindle. It says, "Happy late birthday, Keisha. I'm so glad to know you and call you a friend. You've taught me so many great things, and I will forever be grateful for you. Love you, girl. Something else is on its way." So this was the something else that was on its way that came in a little bit later. It is Witch for Hire by Ted Naifeh, or Naifeh. I don't know how to pronounce that last name. I'm so sorry. But I've already read this one and I really enjoyed it. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. This is a graphic novel, and I'll try to show you something like without spoiling anything. But this is a book that deals with like school bullying a lot, so just know that going in. But it follows this girl, which is Faye Faulkner, and it also follows a new girl named Cody. She's a freshman, and she ends up sitting at the loser's table with Faye, and Faye is not fazed by the loser's table. She thinks like very highly of herself and doesn't really care about what anybody else thinks, or so we are led to believe in the beginning. But a lot of stuff goes on. There is a kind of like influencer cyberbully online called Shy Shelby, and she gives everybody these tips to become better, I guess, per se. And so that's kind of what this story revolves around. It's very interesting, it's very witchy, and I think it has a good message in it as well. So this is one that I really ended up enjoying. So thank you, Kindle, for sending this my way. Then I have another random gift. This one is from Liv. It says, thought I would send you a little bit of happy to add to your week. Hopefully this gives you something to look forward to reading during the holiday season. Love you, my beautiful friend. So this is from Liv, from Liv's Library, and that is The Holiday Switch by Tiff Marcelo. I'm really excited to read this one this holiday season. It is shorter than I thought it was going to be, and it's really floppy. We love ourselves a floppy paperback over here. There's also little bits where you have text as well, so I think this is going to be a really fun one to read. I haven't really looked at holiday romances a lot lately, but this is one that I had on my list, but because I don't remember what it's about, I'm going to go ahead and read the back of the book. He's switching up her holiday plans. Lila Santos is ready for her last winter break of high school. The snow in her small town of Hawley, New York is plentiful. The mood is as cozy as a fuzzy Christmas sweater, and she's earning extra cash working at the local inn. The setting of the greatest film of all time, Holiday by the Lake, while moonlighting as an anonymous book blogger. But Lila's perfect holiday plans crash to a halt when her boss's frustratingly cute nephew, Teddy Rivera, becomes her coworker. Lila is type A, Teddy is type anything but Lila's way, and the two of them can't stop butting heads over tangled icicle lights and messy gift shop merch. But when they accidentally switch phones one afternoon, they realize they've been hiding things from each other. Will their secrets and an unexpected snowstorm bring these rivals together? This sounds like such a cute Christmas romance. I'm really excited to read it this year. I think it was making its rounds last year and I wasn't able to get around to it. So thank you so much, Liv, for sending this my way. I'm really excited to get to it this Christmas. So I do have another random gift here. This one is from Gwen. It says, your friendship means the world to me and I have wanted to read this book for so long because I love Hendrix's writing. I hope it's good, from Gwen. So this is Horrostör by Grady Hendrix, and it is one of the last books that I haven't read by him. I've read 3 of his books so far, and there's 2 left, and I'm not really interested in the others. So this is one that I'm really excited for. It is set up just like an IKEA catalog, and I'm very excited for this one. I just think it's really neat to see. There's an order form in here. Each of the chapter headers are set up like an actual IKEA catalog, but this is basically just like a horror story that is set in an IKEA-like store called Orsk. Also, I think it's really funny. There's coupons in the back of this too, but I think it's like a zombie story, but I'm not sure. I know these coworkers suspect that something is going wrong. I think furniture moves around at weird hours, so they decide to spend the night, do a graveyard shift, and try to figure out what is going on at Orsk. And then Gwen also sent me something else that says, I hope you and Will have just as much fun with this one as you did the last, from Gwen. So this is a puzzle that looks like a book, but it is the Murder Most Puzzling series. There are 2 puzzles out so far. I've already done the first one. Lauren gifted that first one to me for my birthday. It was the Clairvoyance Convention, and Will and I put it together, and it was such a blast. This one is the Missing Will. So they are 500-piece puzzles, and you complete the jigsaw puzzle to reveal the clues to solve the case. So this is the only part of the puzzle that you will actually see. You don't get to see a full layout of what the puzzle is supposed to look like. What you do is you get a box like this, and then you read the mystery. You put together the puzzle, and there is a little slip in here where you can like open halfway to reveal a clue, which Will and I didn't do that with the first one. We probably won't with this one, but you can reveal a clue. I feel like the clue can kind of give it away, so that's why we just waited till the end. Then you can open up the whole thing to see kind of the grand picture, the whole big picture of everything, and see what the answer is. So you don't want to open this when you get the puzzle, but this is seriously one of the most fun things ever. I originally saw this on, I think it was Caitlin from Pride and Paperbacks channel, and I was like, oh my gosh, I need one. I put it on my wish list, and now I have both of them, and I'm very excited to put this one together because it's just a really fun experience. So again, thank you so much, Gwen, for just sending me random things. I appreciate it, and I'm really excited to get to this book and also to this puzzle. Okay, I have more books that I got from McKay's. So one of them is Surfside Girls, The Secret of Danger Point by Kim Dwinnell. This is a book that was brought to my attention from Liv, from Liv's Library, and it was during the Suns Out Books Out readathon, and I'd never heard of this graphic novel series before, so I'm really excited to read this one next summer. It says, things are getting weird in Surfside. Lately, Samantha's best friend Jade explodes into fits of giggles whenever she sees a boy, and it's throwing a wrench into the kickback summer of surfing and hanging out that Sam had planned. But after swimming through a secret underwater cave, Sam starts to see things like ghosts and strange creatures, and maybe something even scarier. Can she and Jade get to the bottom of this mystery in time to save their town? This is the first book in a graphic novel series. I believe it's middle grade, and I'm really excited to try it out next summer. Next up, I have Annihilation by Jeff Vandermeer. I watched the movie adaptation to this book a few years ago with my husband, and I really enjoyed it. It was very weird, and it has one of those endings that's kind of open-ended and you really don't know what happened, but I found it really intriguing and something that I didn't expect to like, but I really did. And I know this is the first book, I think, in a trilogy. I can't remember if there's 3 books or more, but I think it's a trilogy. And it follows, honestly, I don't even remember how to explain this. It's like this woman's husband went missing. He went out in this trip to Area X, which is cut off from the rest of the world, and it's like nature and different things have like grown up and made this place unlivable and dangerous, and different things happen out there. You don't really know until you go in, and people are trying to figure out what is in Area X, what's going on. So her husband never came back, so now this woman is going in there to try to find her husband, but she's also part of the team. I mean, obviously she has ulterior motives because her husband was lost in here. So she goes in. The group's made up of 4 women. There's an anthropologist, a surveyor, a psychologist, and the de facto leader, and our narrator, which is a biologist. And their mission is to map the terrain, record all observations of their surroundings and of one another, and above all, avoid being contaminated by Area X itself. So this is a sci-fi. I know that's really weird because I don't really read a lot of sci-fi or talk about it a lot here on my channel, but this is a shorter book. It's only about a little over 100 pages, so I'm really excited to get to this one and see what I think of it in comparison to the movie. I did want to throw this one in here too. My husband actually got this for me for my birthday, so it wasn't my birthday book haul, but I wanted to haul it here again because I'm so excited about it, and that is Death Overdue by Allison Brook. This is a cozy mystery that's set around Halloween, and it says, Carrie Singleton is just about done with Clover Ridge, Connecticut, until she's offered a job as the head of programs and events at the spooky local library, complete with its own librarian ghost. Her first major event is a program presented by a retired homicide detective, Al Buckley, who claims he knows who murdered Laura Foster, a much-loved part-time library aide who was bludgeoned to death 15 years earlier. As he invites members of the audience to share stories about Laura, he suddenly keels over and dies. The medical examiner reveals that poison is what did him in, and Carrie feels responsible for having surged forward with the program despite pushback from her director. Driven by guilt, Carrie's determined to discover who murdered the detective, convinced it's the same man who killed Laura all those years ago. Luckily for Carrie, she has a friendly, knowledgeable ghost by her side, but as she questions the shadows surrounding Laura's case, disturbing secrets come to light, and with each step Carrie takes, she gets closer to ending up like Al. This just sounds really, really good and really cute. I love that it's a library and she's a librarian and there's a library ghost. It just sounds right up my alley. And then I also have one more, I think there's only one more, cozy mystery, and I got this one from Pango Books. It's one that I had found but I hadn't really seen around a lot, and so I wanted to pick it up, and it is so cute and also really short. It's called Spells and Shelves by Elle Adams. It says, bookshop assistant Aurora Rory Hawthorne thinks reality will never be as interesting as fiction. Content to spend her time escaping into a good book to escape her micromanaging boss, the very last thing she expects is to be cornered by a group of terrifying strangers hunting down a journal that belonged to her late father. It turns out Dad was keeping a secret or two, most importantly that he was a wizard and that Rory has a hidden magical family she's never met. When her witchy relatives invite her to live with them in their enchanted library, can I come? It's literally a dream come true. Until she stumbles upon a dead body hidden behind a bookshelf. Juggling a new family and job would be enough of a challenge without also having to deal with a murder mystery, cranky familiars, and the attention of the local Reaper, even if he is the hottest guy in town. It's up to Rory to embrace her new witchy powers to help catch a killer before she loses the new life she never knew she wanted. And the last cozy mystery that I have, I'd almost forgotten. This is Southern Magic by Amy Boyles, and this is the first book in the Sweet Tea Witches series. The author actually reached out to me to ask me if I wanted a copy of this one. So this is obviously set in the South, and this follows a girl who, I think she owns a familiar pet store, and so she doesn't like animals. She's having to do this job. A local store owner winds up dead. She gets accused of murder, and there's just a lot of whimsy and fun in this one, and I also love that it's Southern. Sometimes it can be like hit or miss with me with Southern books because sometimes I can get annoyed at like an excessive amount of Southern slang if people are trying to overdo it. As a Southerner myself, it just can get really annoying. Like, I know I have an accent, I know I say weird things, I don't need it to be just like pushed in my face. So we'll see if I like this one. It's either going to be one that I love because it feels so relatable, or it's going to be one that I'm like, why did we have to make fun of me so much? Because sometimes that's what it feels like. But I am very excited that the author reached out, and I'm hoping to enjoy this one. Next up, I have another book from Parnassus. I picked up The Fixer-Upper by Lauren Forsyth. I'm really excited about this one. This is one of my most anticipated romances of the year. It's about this girl named Allie, and Allie has a knack for turning her boyfriend's lives around, a skill that hasn't benefited her until now. So what this woman does is she has this business where she's like a fixer-upper of relationships. And so these people will hire her to fix their men. What I'm really excited for with this one though is that Allie is reached out to by a woman who is actually dating someone who was her childhood best friend and her first love. And so she's kind of having to navigate that. So I'm hoping this is going to be like a childhood friends to lovers. I don't know how that's going to work out with the guy being like with somebody else right now, but it could be like a one that got away story, and I just absolutely love those. Okay, I think the rest of these books are all ones that I picked up from McKay's. So the next one is The Return by Rachel Harrison. I picked this one up because I was planning on reading Cackle this holiday season or this Halloween season, and so I wanted to pick up The Return. This is one that I had not heard great things about, but I wanted to kind of give it a try for myself. So this one is about a group of friends that reunite after one of them has returned from a mysterious 2-year disappearance, and it's supposed to be a horror story, so I don't really know much about it, but I think their friend just comes back different and they're trying to figure out what happened, and that's all I need to know before going into this one. I hope that despite the negative things I've heard, that it's one that I can really enjoy. Then this next book should come as no surprise because I have fallen in love with Sally Hepworth this year. So I had to pick up The Younger Wife. I have heard mixed things on this one. I've heard a lot of people not really enjoy this one as much as The Good Sister, but I feel like I also heard mixed things on The Mother-in-Law, and I loved that one also. So maybe I will like The Younger Wife. I don't remember what this one's about, so I'm going to go ahead and read the inside dust jacket. It says, "The husband, a heart surgeon at the top of his field, Stephen Aston, is getting married again. But first he must divorce his current wife, even though she can no longer speak for herself." That's creepy. The daughters, Tully and Rachel Aston, look upon their father's fiancée, Heather, as nothing but an interloper. Heather is younger than both of them. Clearly, she's after their father's money. The former wife. With their mother in a precarious position, Tully and Rachel are determined to get to the truth about their family's secrets, the new wife closing in, and who their father really is. The younger wife. Heather has secrets of her own. Will getting to the truth unleash the most dangerous impulses in all of them? So, I don't really care what this is about. At this point, I like Sally Hepworth, and I'm just excited to pick up anything by her. Next up is a book that I've already read, but I wanted to own it because this is like the only book by this author that I love that I don't own, and that is Home Before Dark by Riley Sager. I absolutely loved this book when I read it. It is kind of a haunted house story, and it follows our main character. Her name is Maggie Holt, and she, when she was younger, her and her family had to escape Bainbury Hall because of something that went on there, and so now she is going back to Bainbury Hall. Her father's passed away, and he was writing this book, and I can't remember what the name of the book is, House of Horrors, and it was recounting what had happened when she was a child, and she is trying to figure out if this is true or not. So she goes back to sell Bainbury Hall, but she ends up staying there and trying to figure out the mystery of what happened when she was younger. And you guys, this is just like probably one of my favorite books of all time. I think I rated it like 4.5 stars because the twist in this didn't live up to the twist in The Last Time I Lied by the same author. But honestly, I think about this book a lot more now. So I don't know. I think this is definitely a favorite of all time. Okay, I have 4 more books left. The first one is Once Upon a Wardrobe by Patti Callahan. This is a story that is just about like C.S. Lewis's Chronicles of Narnia. And I'm not really sure what it is. I think that it's like this girl's little brother is dying and he becomes obsessed with The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. So the sister ends up reaching out to the author, C.S. Lewis, and goes and visits him to try to learn, where Narnia came from and all this information for her brother. But the way that C.S. Lewis explains things to her is not what she was expecting, and so she's trying to figure out why he won't just be upfront with her. But all I know is this is a really sweet story of hope in a hard situation, and it also follows, like I said, C.S. Lewis and the Chronicles of Narnia, like it's kind of wrapped up in this. This is a story of fiction, but I just think it sounds really cute, and I love that story, so I'm really excited to get to this one this winter. Next, I have another Riley Sager. And I have just, honestly, like, this book has gone on and off my TBR so many times. And most people don't like it, but I've heard that maybe I might, just with, like, my taste in books. Some of my friends have told me that I might like it. So I picked it up to give it a try. When I will do that, I have no idea. But I do have The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager. I don't know anything about this. I'm going to go in blind. I've heard it's similar to, like, The Woman in the Window. I've heard that it's got, like, tropes from all the popular, like, thrillers and stuff. So it's not, like, it's really basic. So yeah, I don't really want to know that much going in. I know, like, this woman lives across the lake from this couple and she spies on them and something happens and I don't know. But, like, I don't know. I'm just going to go in with just knowing that. And whenever I read this, maybe I will be one of the few that does enjoy it. Then I have a book that has been on my TBR for a very, very long time, and that is Before We Were Yours by Lisa Wingate. This one may be a bit surprising to some of you because I know I don't read a lot of historical fiction, but this is one that has been on my radar for a really long time. This is right up there with The Nightingale for me of books that I need to read in the historical fiction genre, and especially this one because this one actually is based on a story that took place in Memphis, Tennessee. So that is only a few hours from where I live because I am a Tennessee girl. And so this is based on one of America's most notorious real-life scandals in which Georgia Tan, director of a Memphis-based adoption organization, kidnapped and sold poor children to wealthy families all over the country. So this is based on that story, and that is really why I wanted to own it. I don't know when I will get to this one. I don't feel like picking up historical fiction very often, but this is one I had to have because, like I said, it's a little bit close to home. And I think it feels fitting to end this with another book by the same person that I started this video with, like, that inspired me to pick this book up. And that is Lauren from Lauren Love Reads. She has inspired me to pick up The Shadow House by Anna Downs. Now, I don't know if I like Anna Downs. She has said a few times that if you like Lisa Jewell, you might like Anna Downs. And I haven't read Lisa Jewell yet, so I really don't know if I'm going to like Anna Downs or Lisa Jewell. But this just sounded like a really good book. Lauren recently read it and really loved it. And I don't even remember what it's about, so let's just go ahead and read the inside dust jacket. A House with Deadly Secrets, a mother who will risk everything to bring them to light. Alex Ives, a single mother of two, is determined to make a fresh start for herself and her children. In an effort to escape her troubled past, she seeks refuge in a rural community. At first, Pine Ridge seems idyllic. The surrounding forests are beautiful and the locals welcoming, mostly. But Alex finds that she may have disturbed barely hidden secrets in her new home. As a chain of bizarre events is set off, events eerily familiar to those who have lived there for years, Alex realizes that she and her family might be in greater danger than ever before, and the only way to protect them all is to confront the shadows lurking in Pine Ridge. So, this just sounds like it's going to be a really interesting book. I know it's more of a suspense novel than it is a thriller, but it's about secrets that families can hide and the lengths parents will go to in order to protect their children. And I love that, like, this house has secrets. I don't know that it's necessarily like haunted house vibes, but it's stuff that's like connected to this house, and that just makes it sound really intriguing to me. Okay, y'all, that is all of the books that I have for this haul today. I hope you enjoyed hearing about the books that I have recently been interested in and books that piqued my interest enough that I wanted to own them. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to go ahead and leave an apple emoji down below because I'm really excited about the Granny Apple mystery series that I picked up. So go ahead and leave an apple if you've made it this far in the video. Also, if you have read any of these books, let me know your thoughts about them in the comments. Let me know if you think I will love them or hate them, or if you love them or hated them. And also let me know if any of these I should pick up sooner rather than later. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate and love you all so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, friends.